Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tee-Torials where I'll take you through a nice gentle evening flow today. Just a nice way to unwind from the day and settle into your evening. When you're ready, come into lay with the back flat on the mat, soles of the feet come together, knees drop out to the side, allowing the hands and the arms to fall where they naturally fall. It might feel quite nice to have the palms facing upwards. As always, just taking a moment here to internalize your focus. Maybe bring your attention to your breath, consciously breathing deeper into the belly. Actively trying to relax all of the muscles. Forgetting about anything that happened today or may happen after. Just taking this time to devote to your mat and to your practice. Just a few more breaths here. Really internalizing everything, bringing your focus completely inwards. After your last breath, you're just going to slowly bring the knees back together and then hug them into the chest. Just give yourself a nice hug, really squeeze everything in, but nothing too active. Maybe rock from side to side, it might feel quite nice. If it's comfortable, maybe grab hold of the outside edge of the feet and guide the knees towards the armpits and just come into a gentle happy baby. Again, if you want to rock from side to side, feel free to do so. You don't have to, you can take some stillness in your happy baby. Really nice. When you're ready, releasing the feet back down to the ground. Just rocking yourself up to seated and rolling over the shins, planting the hands on the floor, step back with the feet, pushing the hips up. Come to a downward facing dog. Breathing here, finding your downward facing dog, finding your stability. So really grounding through the hands, all through 10 knuckles. As always, feel free to bend the knees or pedal out the feet. Do what's comfortable for your body. Keeping the belly button pulled back to the spine so we're nice and engaged. Tailbone rooting towards the sky. We take some fun movements there. So as you inhale, reach your left foot up behind you. Exhale and thread it through the body so it comes on the outside edge of that right side. And then reaching the right hand up. And as you inhale, bring it all the way back. Reach the left foot up and back behind you. Exhale and thread it through the body. Allow it to come down to the floor. Right hand reaches up. Inhaling one last time, reaching it all the way back up to the sky. As you exhale, cross the leg through the body, plant it on the floor, reach up with that right hand. Plant that right hand back on the floor, step back, reach that left leg up, and just plant it back on the floor. Once you are back in your downward facing dog, just allowing the knees to drop out to the side of the mat. Bringing the toes together, push the hips back towards the heels and rest in child's pose. The hands are spread out nice and long in front of you, just relaxing the head down to the mat if that's comfortable. After your last exhale, just coming back to a downward facing dog, ready to go on the right side. Inhaling, reaching the right foot up and back. As you exhale, thread it through the body, plant it on the floor, reach up with the left hand, and then plant that hand back on the floor. Inhale and push that foot up and back behind you. Exhale and squeeze it through, reach up with the left hand. Nice. Last time, reaching that right foot up and back behind you. Exhale and thread it through. Really go as far as you can. Reach up through that arm. And then reaching that right foot back. Dropping it down to the floor. Holding here in downward facing dog. Again, maybe realign yourself, making sure that your feet are hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. When you're ready, just gently walk the feet to the top of the mat. As always, feel free to bend the knees to allow yourself to get there, keeping the belly pulled in towards the back of the spine. Once you're there, hang heavy, maybe grab hold of each elbow, come into a ragdoll. Nodding the head yes, shaking the head no. Just hanging everything down. The legs can be as bent as you need, no need to overstretch them. After your next exhale, just dropping the hands to the floor. Placing the left hand in the center of the mat. As you exhale, twist open the body and reach up towards the sky with that right hand. Gaze can come over that right shoulder if that's comfortable. When you're ready, dropping that right hand back to the floor and replacing it where the left hand was and reaching the left hand up towards the sky. Twisting the body over to the left side. Again, twisting it out so the left hand comes to the floor this time. Right hand reaches up. Again, pulling that belly button back to the spine to facilitate an extra twist. And then last time, placing the right hand on the floor. Left hand comes up. Releasing all the way back down. And then ever so slowly rolling up through the spine, coming into your Tadasana, your mountain pose. When you're ready, just grounding down through that left foot. We're going to take a gentle balance here. It's okay if you fall as I just did. So you can either bring the right foot to the left ankle, you can bring the right foot to the shin, or if your hips are quite open and you know you can go further into your tree pose, gently using the hand to guide the right foot onto the inside of that left thigh. Once it's there, squeezing the foot and the thigh together, bringing the hands to heart center if that's comfortable. Feel free to have a sway around if you want to. One more breath. Nice. And just with control, releasing that leg and just dropping it back down to the floor. Do the same thing on the opposite side. So really grounding down through that right leg once you're ready. Again, your foot can come to the ankle, the shin, or the upper thigh, just avoiding the knee area. We don't want any pressure on that area. So if it's too hard, or you've got slippery clothes on and it keeps slipping down from the thigh area, then just placing it on the shin. Again, hands can come to heart center, finding a point or gaze your drishti in front of you to help you balance. One more deep breath. Nice. After your last exhale, releasing that foot with control, dropping it back down to the floor. Feel free to step out the feet. Once you're ready, just bringing the feet wider apart, come into a nice wide stance. You might want to pigeon the feet slightly so that the toes are just gently facing inwards. As you inhale, have a slight sense of a back bend. As you exhale, fold over the legs, come into your wide leg forward fold. If you're quite comfortable in your forward fold and your legs are straight, feel free to release the hands towards the floor. And then if you've got more in you, then maybe you walk the hands back so that they're in line with the heels, allowing the head to completely drop towards the floor. After your last exhale, coming up halfway, bending the knees, turning the feet outwards so the toes face outward, bringing the hands to heart center, coming into a nice goddess pose. Engage in the glutes, externally rotating the thighs. And after your last exhale, you're going to straighten the legs, pigeon toe the feet again, and fold over. We're going to do that again, so bringing the toes to face outward, bending deep into those legs, trying to keep the knees tracking over the toes, hands to heart center, really squeezing the inner thighs. And then as you exhale, fold back over the legs, bring the toes to come straight forward or slightly turned in. Last time, bending the legs into those knees, really sinking deep, turning the toes out to facilitate extra space in the hips. Breathing through, and then as you exhale, fold back over the legs. Enjoy this nice forward fold. You might feel slightly more open now, so maybe you can walk the hands back or just gently straighten the legs if they are bent. It's absolutely fine if they are. When you're ready, just gently coming up and walking the hands towards the top of the mat, and then stepping that foot back towards a downward facing dog. Again, just recentering yourselves, returning to the breath if you found that you've lost it. As you inhale, reach the right foot up and back behind you. Exhaling, bring the foot forward between the hands. Once you're there, really grounding down through that left hand on the floor and then opening up the chest to twist towards the right. Feel free to release that right hand towards the ceiling to encourage more of a twist. Feel free to move any hair out your face. Gaze can come up to that top arm if it's comfortable. One more breath. After your last exhale, releasing that right hand back down, really grounding through that left hand. And then turning on the outside edge of that left foot, we're going to come into the side plank. You have options here. So you can bring the left knee and shin to the floor first. And here is a side plank, and that's absolutely fine if this is where you are. Or you can bring the feet so that they're staggered, so both soles of the feet are on the floor. If you want to come to the full expression of the pose, only the left foot is on the floor, and then you're stacking the right foot there. Once you're ready, releasing that hand down. Flowing through vinyasa, you can go for a chaturanga or go through knees, chest, chin. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, rolling over, downward facing dog. Realigning yourself before we move on to the next side. Inhaling, reaching the left foot up and back. Exhaling, bringing it in between the hands, grounding down. You know what we're doing this side now. So once you're ready, really planting that right hand down on the floor. Find where's comfortable. And then once you have found that position, slowly opening up the upper body. Maybe you release the left hand up towards the ceiling. Gaze can come over that shoulder if it's comfortable. One more breath. Nice. After your last exhale, releasing that left hand down. Again, finding your balance on that right hand and that right foot. Taking the same variation you took on the other side. So if you had the knee down, put the knee down. If you staggered the feet, feel free to stagger the feet. Eventually you'll come to the full expression of the pose. But there is absolutely no rush. When you're ready, releasing that left hand down, coming back to a plank, lowering through a chaturanga or vinyasa of your choice. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, rolling over the toes, downward facing dog. Really nice, everyone. When you're ready, just dropping the knees out to the outside edge of the mat. Bring the toes together, rest in child's pose. If it's comfortable, feel free to just gently wrap the arms around the knees, around the thighs, just to release any tension in the shoulders. Returning back to a deep breath. Returning back to your natural breathing now, letting go of any conscious breathing. Just taking a moment here in child's pose to end your practice and taking the benefits of this evening's flow. As always, thank you so much for practicing with me today. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon.